I'm your huckleberry.
What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fish, and class is in session. I am super excited today because I want to share a really awesome commemorative knife set with you. Most of you guys know that I'm a fan of history, maybe a little more than a fan. I really enjoy studying history. I am a voracious reader, so I just want to share this commemorative set with you. I've got a few different Civil War commemoratives. This one's really cool. I want to share a little interesting tidbit of history with you as well, and maybe a couple of books that you might enjoy. So, without further ado, let's get this camera turned around and take a closer look.
Hey man, do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. It sure does help the channel. We sure do appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much, man.
All right, so like I said, I've got a few of these Civil War commemorative sets that Rough Rider has put out. Did not have this one, found it on eBay, pitched an offer to the seller, and they took it, so I got a really good deal on it. Comes in this little black case, and when you open it up, there's our set. It says Civil War, Abraham Lincoln, Jefferson Davis. We've got a little insert card here. Now, this is just kind of a cardboard paper card. I do wish this was maybe a coin or something. That would have been better, but I'm not mad at it. Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States of America, and Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederate States of America. So we've got two Gunstock patterns here. Let's take these bad boys out and take a look. All right, I really enjoy collecting these Civil War commemoratives, or as we Southerners call it, the War for Southern Independence or the War of Northern Aggression. I really enjoy collecting these. The Gunstock pattern is one of my favorite patterns. So we've got one for the USA, one for CSA. This has nickel silver bolsters and a nickel silver cap on them with a single thread on each nickel silver pins. We've got bone covers. This one is blue for the United States. And then we've got the Betsy Ross flag. Stainless steel back springs with brass liners. Really good fit and finish on these. We've got a long match strike pull on our main blade. Half stop on there. Good walk and talk, but these are not users. These are just commemorative collectibles for me. Abraham Lincoln etch on there. Horseshoe tang with the RR on top of each other and tested sharp. We've also got a pin blade on each of these. Half stop on that pin blade. Nothing on the tang there. Mirror polish on those blades. 440A steel, which is, it's a soft steel. Yes, it will function. It's not going to stay sharp forever. But like I said, these are not users. And then, of course, we've got the one that represents the Confederate States of America. And then etched on that main spear point blade, we've got Jefferson Davis etched on that one, which is super cool. Same tang stamp on there. We've got the RR horseshoe with tested sharp. And then the shield on this one, we've got what a lot of people mistakenly call the Confederate flag, which is incorrect, or they call it the Stars and Bars, which is also incorrect. This is the battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia, or the battle flag of the Army of Tennessee. The Army of Northern Virginia flag was square. The Army of Tennessee flag was rectangular. Otherwise, it is exactly the same. It has the 13 stars on there, which represent the 13 Confederate States of America. Funny enough, Kentucky and Missouri never formally seceded from the Union, but there is a star on there anyway because for the most part they supported the Confederate cause. They just never formally seceded. Now, what's interesting about this flag is that it features the St. Andrew's cross, that X basically, as opposed to the St. George's cross, which looks like a plus. And this points to the Scottish heritage of many, many Southerners. In fact, a lot of Southerners were of Scottish or Irish or Scotch Irish descent. And if you look closely, you will see that throughout Southern history. In fact, the 10th Regiment of Tennessee flew what was called the Sons of Erin flag, which features the Irish harp. Now, there's a really great book that talks about this called The Cracker Culture Celtic Ways in the Old South by Grady McWhinney. This was published by University of Alabama Press. Grady McWhinney was a professor at University of Alabama, also Texas Christian University, as well as many others. I didn't know anything about this book. This book was recommended by Alan Harrelson over at the Pipe Cottage. I really recommend you go and subscribe to his channel. Now, there's a lot of people that absolutely hate Alan Harrelson. Most of those people are freaking woke lunatics because Alan Harrelson is a man of conviction and he stands on his principles. And as you guys know, I do as well. So I really enjoy his channel. It's a pipe channel, but he talks about all kinds of stuff. Books, Catholicism, theology, all kinds of great stuff. Just a great channel. Anyway, he recommended this book, and the main thesis of this book is what McWhinney calls the Celtic thesis, and it explains how the vast majority of the people in the South were of Celtic descent, either Scottish or Irish or Scotch Irish or Welsh, whereas most people in the North were from England of Anglo-Saxon descent. And McWhinney explains that from the very beginning, the people that settled in the North and the South were fundamentally different, not only with regard to industry and agriculture, but also culturally. And they brought those same biases and conflicts and feuds with them to America when they settled in the United States. And that has had a profound impact on the history of the United States and still does to this day. It is an absolutely fascinating book. I highly recommend it if you're into history at all. And being a Southerner of Irish descent, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fascinating and I highly recommend it. Now, McWhinney's Celtic thesis is also supported and verified by David Hackett Fisher in his book Albion Seed, 4 British Folkways in America, which basically describes the different cultures of the people that settled in the United States and where they came from and how they brought those cultures with them. This book was also recommended by Alan Harrelson at the Pipe Cottage. I did not know anything about this book, but it is also fascinating and impressive work of scholarship. Look, I like to read. If you're afraid of big books, this might not be the one for you. Now, I was familiar with David Hackett Fisher because I've read this one, Washington's Crossing, for which he won the Pulitzer Prize. And David Hackett Fisher is a serious historian. So, just a few books that you might enjoy. Just wanted to talk about that interesting piece of history and how much of the Southern heritage and culture and beliefs came from the original settlers and their Celtic heritage. Just really fascinating and wanted to share that with you today. But really cool commemorative set here. I love a gunstock pattern. These are really, really well done. I got a screaming good deal on this and just wanted to share it with you today. As always, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know if you're into history. Let me know if you like to read. Let me know if you've read any of those books. and what you think about the Celtic thesis. I'd like to hear from the Southerners out there what you guys think. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click my logo right over there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish. Boys and girls, class dismissed.